Alright guys, so I just got this in from Amazon. It's a tailgate seal. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it, but for those of you that aren't, you line the edge of your bed here, right where the tailgate sits. You line that with the seal, so that way things like water and dust don't really get in. I didn't really buy into the whole idea at first. I thought it was kind of gimmicky and I didn't think it was a real issue, but I will say after going through Moab for just a few hours, doing some trails, definitely got some dust in the truck bed, as you can see here. So if it's not really that big of a deal, but if you got stuff back there like luggage and just other stuff you don't really want to get dirty, it kind of becomes annoying. So we'll open it up and see what this kit includes. It's called the Ultimate Tailgate Seal by I guess, I don't know, ESI or tailgateseal.com. I got it off Amazon, around 20 bucks, not too bad. And what makes this one unique, I guess, it's kind of got this tapered design. So we opened it up, and I'm actually pretty impressed. It's even though it's a pretty simple concept, they have pretty thorough directions here. So that way, if you're confused, you can figure it out. Then also have like a little guide for really common trucks. They got 2016s on this side, and yeah, they're all 2016s, basically every make. So that way, I guess if you need ideas or if you want clarification how to do this, they show the Ford doing it one way. I'm probably gonna do it a little bit different, and I'll show you guys how I did that. I actually got a video, or excuse me, I got an idea offline, and I kind of want to see if that'll work. I kind of thought it looked a little bit cleaner. The kit also comes with an alcohol prep pad, which is good. As you can see, the truck's dirty, so it'll be helpful getting a good seal on that, getting the adhesion to stick. And you got, I don't even know how many feet this is. Got a good amount of tailgate seal here. Okay, so I just finished cleaning up the metal. I just used a rag with some rubbing alcohol. It's pretty straightforward. The next step is to figure out how you want to put your weather stripping on, or your tailgate seal on. Basically, they recommend, at least for Ford, doing like this split kind of approach, where you're going to put a strip up this area of the tailgate, and then you're going to put a piece up here. I don't really like that. So what I'm going to do, or at least attempt to do, is remove these little studs, or these rubber stoppers or pads, whatever you want to call them. Remove those, put the tailgate seal behind it, and kind of wrap it up in this corner, and then I will put them back in. It'll kind of wedge, should kind of wedge the seal in there, and give it a clean look, instead of having multiple cuts and having it look all janky. Okay, so quick change of plans. The screws, I think, pretty much made of plastic. It's not really one to come out. Basically stripped the heads trying to move it, so I don't really think it's worth the effort. This is pretty flexible, so I'm just going to tuck it behind. That way I don't ruin whatever hardware is keeping it in place. Okay, so the driver's side is in. I started the seal about an inch below the bed surface, and I ran it all the way to just under the weather stripping of my bed cover. And I did do some tests. It worked just fine. I'm sure the lighting's not very good for you guys there, but it closes just fine. I'm not going to have any weird rubbing or interference. And I'll show you guys what it looks like with it shut, so you can see what a good seal it is. As you can see, almost no gaps. There's a little gap around this that little piece of plastic, but no worries. And I'll finish up and show you guys what the rest of it looks like. Okay, we're at our first little roadblock. I got the passenger side seal in, but when I went to go do a test by closing the tailgate, as you can see, it does not want to close. It's bouncing off these bump stops, or whatever you want to call them. So I'm gonna have to trim behind that, maybe cut that part of the seal altogether. I'll let you guys know what I'm able to do, and hopefully we'll be able to get the tailgate to close. Okay, so I finally corrected that issue. I just cut everything out that was behind these bumpers. I don't think it looks as nice, but it's what I had to do to get the tailgate shut. It at least shuts all the way consistently now. You do have to give it a good little push. So I know my tailgate didn't wiggle at all, but people's who have some wiggle room, this might be a good seal for you, because it's pretty thick, and it probably offers some good cushion if there's any large gaps. So yeah, and to get it out, it's a pretty good pretty good lift on the handle. Hopefully it compresses over time. We'll see though. Okay, so I finally get it all finished up. I got the bottom seal in, as you can see. A couple things to note on this 2013 F-150. I did have to put the thicker side down, oriented like this. So what was happening, and the directions do talk about this, is if you orient it in a certain way like this with the thicker side up, the tailgate may roll, kind of like in that motion, roll the top bead down. So just to solve that, you put it upside down, and it really can't roll it that way. So thick side down on a 2013 F-150. I've got this weird little piece of metal hanging out, and that was digging into the seal, so I just cut a little slit there for that metal to travel through. And I did the same over here. I've got this weird bracket, or flange, or whatever you want to call it. I got that here, so I just did two little slits. It allows this piece to kind of move more freely. It won't wear as much on the whole strip. If this starts to get beat up a lot, I could just trim it, similar to like what I did up here. Overall, it's a little bit more complicated, or not, it wasn't really complicated, it was just a little bit more tedious than I thought it was going to be. Like I said before, it's a little thick for a 2013 F-150, at least with a sprayed-in bed liner. Again, if you don't have a bed liner, you could have a lot different results. So I'll show you closing it. Got to give it a good little push, nice and secure. And then with the bed cover, there's no way that any water, which I'm not really worried about, but it's the dust getting in that I was kind of concerned about. So I'll put a link in the description below. Let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully you kind of learn from some of my experiences, and it's a little bit easier for you when you go to attack this. Good luck.